Everyone, welcome back to Cadence Trading. It is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025, and we are in the midst of what looks to be a fairly strong bull market still. But that comes with a couple of caveats, where yesterday I had bought literally a half a dozen different ETFs. Had a hard time deciding on any one, so I just said, the hell with it, I'll just buy a bunch of them. And I was 3 for 6, so halfway there, made a small profit. Nothing crazy. I don't normally do that. I don't normally buy a basket of ETFs at once. I usually just buy one and maybe two and stick with those. But I was just kind of unsure with the whole market situation, so it was better safe than sorry. But I'm going to start with DRN right now because that one is the one that I said yesterday looks better than anything else, and it ended up being my worst performer, so I sold it. I sold it a little bit before the close. Took a small loss on it. Not a big deal. I didn't have a lot of money on it because I had everything, I had 6 different ETFs and I didn't put my full account on the entire 6. But yeah, so this was the worst one, and I was very surprised by this too. And it's funny because it kind of closed right where it has some support, and chances are I could have held on to it longer. I just don't like seeing bars like this on the daily where it opened kind of near the high and then closed right near the low. Usually when that happens, the next day it's down more, but watch, tomorrow it'll probably be right back up for all I know. But yeah, usually in the case like that, I just want to get out because that's not the behavior I want to see. So moving on, the next one that I own still, I didn't sell it yet, is BITU. This is the double leveraged Bitcoin. Closing with a doji here. I feel just a little more comfortable with this because it's Bitcoin, and I don't know, I just feel like with the new Trump presidency and all the stuff with crypto, like I tend to think this will probably turn upwards at some point, but who knows? For now, I'm just going to hold on to it. It didn't perform terribly today. It was only down like a little more than 3.5%. So hanging in there. I don't want to sell this one too prematurely. Moving on. What else do I have? I have TNA. TNA was down today. It's kind of like DRN where it was coming down a bunch. I'm giving this one a little bit of a longer leash though. DRN is something I don't trade very often. TNA I'm more familiar with. And it has that kind of support and resistance area here. It's looking like it wants to build out and move into this kind of an uptrend situation. We'll see. Not great today, but it's not going to go up every single day. That's just the way it is. And then moving into some of the more bullish stuff. Let's see. FAZ. Well, this is an avoid because it's very much in a downtrend. Skip that. TZA, the inverse of TNA. I wouldn't be buying this because that one also is in the downtrend. SPYU is another one that I sold today. I wasn't expecting to sell this, but because it opened near its low, went up, and then closed near its low, after a gap up, I usually think because of that kind of behavior, chances are the next day it's probably going to try to fill this gap, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. Very low volume, probably could have held on to it. I didn't like its behavior in the 5-minute chart either because of this just falling near the end of the day. I always say those last few minutes of the day are the most important, and since it ended up closing pretty damn close to the low today, I would say it doesn't look good for tomorrow. It's tough to try to trade day by day though. Like if it's in a strong uptrend and it's way above the EMA trend line, then it's possibly worth holding on to. In my case, I just like these little gains. Like I don't mind taking those when I can get them. Moving on to the next one, Labu. I almost bought this today. At the end of the day, I decided not to buy anything new and just sit with the 3 things that I have left. So tomorrow I'll be watching this too to see if it continues up. The downtrend is ugly, but it is curving upward now. It has a few up days here, or at least 2 anyway. So it looks like it's trying to turn the corner and come up. So we'll see what happens with that. SBIT, inverse of BITU, not really doing much of anything. Up a little bit today, but I wouldn't touch that at all. Oops, ERY. This is another one I was looking at. It's starting to round out a little bit. If it has another uptrend like this, like if it's going to behave that well, then it's definitely worth considering. The only thing is that it's the first real day where it's trying to turn around. I'd want to give that at least another bar to see if this the pink ribbon kind of turns upward. So it's not ready yet, but it looks like it might be getting ready. TQQQ. Another one I was considering today, but then it closed with the doji. A lot of these were like this today, where it was up the first half of the day and then just slowly fell for the rest of the day. I just don't like that behavior. Usually with like what'll happen most of the time is it'll go up for a while, come down a little bit, and go up more, come down a little bit, go up more. That's what you want to see. In a case like this where it seems like there's some indecision here, the market hasn't completely stabilized yet. We're not like off and running yet, but the bulls are in control. That's definitely for sure. But how in control they are is anyone's guess. SPXL was like the same thing. It was up a bunch, closed at the doji again. I was really hoping again that this thing would like start taking off, but it's just not ready yet. Of course, if you got in down here and you rode this thing up, more power to you, but I would have never even considered it down there. DRV, the inverse of DRN, had a good day, but it's in a downtrend. It's an ugly looking chart. Like I would avoid this entirely. TQQQ, one of the ones that I am still holding. It performed a little bit better. It's holding on a little bit better. As you can see, it didn't come down as much. So that's bullish. But given all the other bullish ETFs that were kind of not behaving as well, figured I'd hold on to this one and get rid of the other ones. FNGU, another one that I actually didn't want to sell today. It was my best performer. And I ended up selling it just before the close because again, it just kind of was meandering down. Didn't like that. And it's another one where in every single case, there was really no need to dump anything. I'd rather just like take the gains and move on and take the money and run sort of a thing. DRN being the exception where I just didn't like how it closed near the low. So in this case too, when I saw it falling so much, I was like, you know what, let me just lock in the gain on this. Who knows if it's gonna try to fill the gap. Let's just wait until tomorrow. And then Boyle, I really came close to pulling the trigger on this just before the close. I decided not to though. I was just gonna kind of let my money clear and wait for the next go round, but this looks like it might want to try to go up some more. It's a really weird chart right now where it kind of peaked over here, coming down on a couple bars and then back up again. It is really cold on the East Coast. This probably is a cyclical thing where this time of year it'll go up a lot, but better safe than sorry on this one for now. I figured I'd be like very cautious with it. So I'm going to hold off on it for now and come back and look at it again tomorrow. So I have a lot of stuff to look at tomorrow to see if there's anything I want to jump in on. I'm trying to be frugal with my selections. I don't want to just jump into anything with the market the way it is right now because I feel like things are still unsettled. Like I keep saying, it's still a bull market. It's like the strongest market in history, but I feel like it's starting to show like a little bit of signs of cracking, but maybe that's just in my head. I don't know. But that's it for today. If you guys like this content, please remember to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll be here every trading day. And as I always say, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Just showing you what works for me. So until next time, see you guys.